Hello dear crypto friends, and welcome to this video in which we are going to finally have some good news. The market is rebounding, everything is going up. The first weekly candle in Bitcoin, as we can see here, in quite a few weeks, after 9 red weekly candles. It was insane. And now finally, after a long time, the first green weekly candle. So can we already rejoice? Is this it? Is this the beginning of a new rally? Or will this be just a dead cat bounce and it's like, bow? Something which we all would not like. How can we distinguish between a dead cat bounce and a real rally? Well, let us see if we can find something out together. So this is the long-term weekly Bitcoin chart as always. And if we go into the daily chart, we can see that we have a quite nice green daily candle, but of course it's not something to already cheer about. We load the Bollinger Band and we see we are not through the worst yet. No, we have not gone through the Bollinger Band. We can cheer when the daily candle starts pushing through the Bollinger Band, as for example happened here, nicely visible, and here. Because then that is a strong sign of a real recovery and not just a bounce. For example, here, nicely visible, pretends to go up, gets rejected by the Bollinger Band, bam, goes lower, right? So this is something we would like not to see. So we have to wait until we get a bit more of data in the next days. And then we see, will it push really nicely through the Bollinger Band, really aggressively? Or will it wobble around and really struggle to push higher? Now looking at the RSI in the daily is of course now going up rapidly, but we are so oversold. We are on such low RSI values that this thing could rally for a long time until we get into overbought territory. I mean, look, we are now at 46. This is still below the halfway point, and the highest values are around 89. So we could still rally for quite a few days until we get into overbought territory. When will this likely be? Well, I think this resistance line here might be the point where we could face some serious rejection. We might go here, and then it will be interesting. Will this have been a bounce, or are we going lower? And for that, we will have to, as always, spot divergences. Divergences are our friend in order to spot reversals. For instance, here you can see this here made a higher high in the price, right? From October to November, we had a higher high in the daily price, but the RSI, the daily RSI, made a lower high. So this was already a big warning sign. We had already a big bearish divergence. So yeah, we saw it kind of coming that we would be going down. That it would be for such a long time, of course, we didn't quite see it coming, but that we wouldn't go to all-time highs as was promised to us, like, oh yeah, by late 2021, confirmed 300K. That's what Plan B said, right? It was kind of clear that this wouldn't happen because there were those bearish divergences all over the place. And not only in the daily, but they were there also in the weekly. Like here we had a higher high, right? This was 69,000, here was 65,000, but the RSI made lower highs in all that time. So this was already a strong warning sign. Now we would like, for a sustained rally, we would like this here to happen, right? So in order for that to happen, we should, on the way up now, spot any divergences. So if now this continues just going up without any meaningful bearish divergence, this of course is nice, right? But if this goes up now, and here already we see some insane bearish divergences, maybe in the weekly or maybe in the daily, so something like this, right? We are here, and then we get a peak in the RSI that is lower than this one here, yet the price is going up. Then of course this would be a bearish divergence, something like this here. We don't want to see that, because then this would of course mean that the probability that we have a bounce is higher than that we get a sustained rally. But we will of course also have to spot any divergences in the daily chart. That will be really important. The daily must now go up, and we would like to see please no big bearish divergences here. Now, if we go to the altcoins, we said something really impressive happened, and now it has happened because the weekly candle has closed. We see that actually the weekly RSI in total 3 really has made a new low. Look at this here. We have hit a new historical low at 31.19. This is more than 1 point lower than the low of December 2018, which was at around 32.4. So we are talking a new historical low in the RSI, and combine this with the view that here we have a flat corrective structure looking like a running flat. I think the probability is high that we go to the upside. And of course, the most important thing is this here. Look at the dollar index. Look how the dollar index is falling. It is brutal. It is like, this is insane. The monthly candle in the dollar index, I mean, the month closes very soon. Tomorrow is the last day of the month. So this monthly candle will probably close like this, and it is looking ugly. It is looking like a real monthly bearish reversal candle. So I'm pretty sure that this will not just dump a bit and then go upwards again, but I'm pretty sure that this will be a continued downtrend, and this increases the likelihood that we will get a nice rally in Bitcoin, because we know that Bitcoin and the dollar index are anti-correlated on longer time frames. If we go into the Nasdaq, that is also quite beautiful. Why? Because look what the Nasdaq is doing. This is amazing. We have a really bullish support candle forming here in the monthly Nasdaq chart. We had this insanely strong hidden bullish divergence with lower highs in the price and lower lows in the RSI, and this candle, if it closes like this, the monthly candle looks like a super solid support candle. Last time we've seen this was here in 2016, and afterwards we did get a rally, or here for example, afterwards we did get a rally. Also, there was not only this hidden bullish divergence on the monthly RSI, but even on the weekly we have the same picture. Super insane hidden bullish divergence here. Higher lows in the price, lower lows in the RSI. We have this insane bullish breakout candle here. Now, of course, we will have to see if this is not just a bounce as happened here and we will go lower, or if this will be a sustained rally. And I think the latter is the case. Why? Because look at what happened. You remember the video where I said it is quite likely that the Fed will backpedal on rate hikes. You remember it was not long ago, about a week ago or something. And now, oh, what a surprise. The Fed may pause policy tightening in September, the Bank of America says. Wow, who would have thought this, that the Fed is actually playing the market? And now everyone is super surprised, like, how could this happen? What? Didn't the Fed say that they were going to tighten like crazy bastards? Well, friends, that is the funny thing. Here, when everything was on top, you know, when everything was making new all-time highs, the Fed was saying, we will never raise interest rates, guys. Never, ever. And then they make this 180-degree change, cause the market to plummet. And now here at the lows, they say, of course, we will raise interest rates forever like crazy berserks. Confirmed forever. So of course this news is super bullish, because now the market knows that the Fed is not as hawkish as they said to be, and that confirms my view that this will not just be a bounce and we go lower, but I think this will actually turn into a real rally, into a big push that will last into probably early 2023 or mid 2023 even, and then this will be the time when the real bear market will start. But most importantly, if we look at the 2-year yields, right? I was talking about the 2-year yields of US 2-year government bonds. They are reversing. Look at this. A perfect reversal here. The RSI in the weekly chart of 2-year yields was at historical highs. I'm not joking. This was the highest value we had now, the highest RSI value in over 30 years. Look at this. It was never so high in the last 30 years. So it looks as if the yields are making a reversal, and we all know what that means, right? Look at what the Nasdaq did here in orange. As soon as the yield started going up, this was the time when the Nasdaq started going down. Now, what do you think will happen now that 2-year yields are starting to plummet? Of course, friends, of course, Nasdaq will pump. And how long will it pump? As long as the yields fall. And this is also a big indicator that the Fed is using. The Fed is using these charts here to decide if they will tighten or not. So now that the yields are starting to reverse and had the highest historical RSI value, we can be pretty sure they will be still dumping for the months to come. So I think the probability is really high, friends, that this is not just a dead cat bounce, but a continued sustained rally, that we will even see new all-time highs in the Nasdaq, in the Dow Jones, in the S&P 500, and consequently, one-to-one consequently also in the crypto market. But of course, as I said, we will have to monitor and spot early warning signs. We will have to monitor the RSI all the time, the daily RSI, the weekly RSI, in order to spot some bearish divergences that may pop up. But I think the likelihood is very high, if we compare this to the March 2020 low, that we are actually getting now something similar as to what happened from the March 2020 low until the top in April 2021. We will get some kind of recovery, then we will go probably sideways. Maybe Bitcoin will pretend to be dumping here a bit more, and then we go into a new unexpected, for many unexpected, bull market. Why unexpected? Well, because everybody is now talking about bear market, bear market, bear market. You hear the word bear market all the time. So, of course, unexpected to everyone. What will happen with a high likelihood? The opposite of what most people are thinking. Because here, everybody was thinking we go to 200K or whatever, because Plan B said, well, 200K confirmed. And now what is happening? Of course, everybody's believing that we will go to, I don't know, 10K, even I hear sometimes even insane, outrageous claims such as 4 or 5K, well below what Bitcoin was ever doing. I mean, this would be even outside of the long-term historical logarithmic channel. This would be lower than in the March 2020 low. This would be lower than in August 2015. So I see no possible way that Bitcoin can drop to 4 or 5K. I see no possible way whatsoever. And in fact, I think the opposite will happen, because everybody is super bearish, and when the sentiment is extremely bearish, this is actually a good indicator that we are at a market bottom, because at market bottoms everyone is ultra bearish, and the opposite is of course true at tops. Here everybody was talking about Bitcoin to 200K, and here suddenly everyone is talking about 10K, 15K, 5K, right? So that is the reason why I believe this will not just be a bounce. We are not now going up and then going down, but I think the probability is higher, and still I'm talking about probabilities. The probability is higher that this will in fact turn into a continued pump. Of course, we could pretend to be going lower, but then we will recover and go higher again and make new all-time highs, both for the stock market and for Bitcoin, and of course, hence also for the entire crypto market. So if you found this video helpful or interesting, please like and subscribe. I would be happy if you would subscribe to this channel. We are a small illustrious round of crypto enthusiasts, and we will journey together on the epic journey to Bitcoin's inevitable path to $1 million. So then, have a nice day, friends, and see you in the next Bitcoin and crypto update tomorrow. Bye!